I need new music.
This is the JJO Discover New Music Podcast.
Well, let's do it. New album, Volbeat, God of Angels Trust. It's out now, dropped on the 6th. Before we get into it, I do got to ask, is there an abbreviated, or at least, in your opinion, an abbreviated title for In the Barn of the Goat Giving Birth to Satan's Spawn and a Dying World of Doom? Because I am always out of breath when I have to say it on air. Is there a shorter way we can say that?
Just call it In the Barn.
In the Barn. I love it. That's what I'm going to do, and everyone will know, and they won't hear me wheezing on air as I try and get that out. I love it. It's one of my favorite titles, new titles out there. All right, let's get serious. The new album, God of Angels Trust, 9th Volbeat record, man. First new music since 2021's Servant of the Mind. When did you know it was time to start working on this next project and start moving forward?
When I was told to do the record. Before I went on the Yes in Hell tour, I kind of promised the other guys in Volbeat that I would write the new Volbeat record basically before that tour. Mm-hmm. So we basically just start immediately when I came home after the Yes in Hell tour. So that's pretty much what I did. And then I just picked up the pieces that I wrote before that tour. So I will finish up a song on Monday. Then we will be rehearsing it on Tuesday, and then finish up a song on Wednesday and rehearse it on Thursday. And then we took the weekend off. And we did that until we had 10 tracks. And I think a little bit over 4 weeks, then the 10 songs were pretty much written. And we only used 13 days in the studio because we kind of wanted to capture that energy that we used during while I was writing and while we were rehearsing it. Because there was something refreshing about just shooting straight from your hip and not overdoing anything, overthinking anything. We've always been fan of just doing a few takes back in the days with some of the early recordings, because I think that's where the right energy is in the riffing and in the performance. Back in the days, I remember when we didn't have any, we only had pocket money to go into the studio. So that could only cover maybe 3 or 4 days.
Right.
And that, so you kind of have to hurry up to make the album. So I was just like fooling around with producer Jacob Hansen and went to my pocket and showed him a few coins. How much can I get for this? And he totally got my point. And I said, let's not do too many takes of anything. Let's keep it raw the way it is.
Yeah.
And basically just recording it, playing it live in the studio, and just adding a few more guitars. And that went great.
Yeah.
I immediately after the Yes and Hell tour, I just hooked up with John and Casper, and we started.
Just rip through it. I'm excited because that's been, I think, a theme. What a lot of people have noticed is almost that franticness, albeit well put together, and this urgency in this album. And that's wild. 13 days plus or minus a few to get a new Volbeat project is just crazy to me. And I'm glad you guys did it so quickly, so we got it quickly. But that is amazing. And you did mention Jacob Hansen, which now you also have producing credits on this as other Volbeat records, but Jacob Hansen, once again, you worked with him, and he has produced every single Volbeat record, and that relationship spans 20 years, since 2005. Let's touch on him and why that relationship is so important for the sound that you're going for, even after all this time, 20 years later.
Yeah, actually, he also did the second demo back in the days called Beat the Meat.
Wow.
And that's a great story, actually, because when we did our first demo in Volbeat, that was a 10-song demo we did in a small studio in a city called Roskilde. And to be quite honest, the producer in that studio didn't really know how to capture that sound. So it sounded very different. Let's just put it that way. So when Jacob heard us playing live at a time where we only released that one demo, he said, "You guys have such a good, raw, big, fat sound live that should be the sound you should capture on your recording. So let me give you an offer. Come to my studio. Don't pay me anything. Just try to record a few songs and see if you like it, because we need that sound on record." And that's basically how it started.
Wow.
Beforehand, I already knew Jacob from back in the days because he was playing in Invocator, touring with Invocator. I was playing in Dominus, touring with Dominus. So we were part of the scene, the death metal scene, thrash metal scene. So we already knew each other pretty well. But we went in to record that second demo, and he managed to capture that live sound of Volbeat. So there it was, a good guy who understood the Volbeat sound, and a good guy to be around. And then, of course, as a producer, he has good quality of listening to what the band is trying to do. And so we haven't really have any desires to change anything. We pretty much look at Jacob as the fifth element in Volbeat.
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it, man. Well, I think that's amazing, and something that lasts that long in the music industry, in any industry, is pretty incredible. And obviously, it's paid off here as we look at the 9th album, God of Angels Trust. Again, it's out now if you're just joining us. I want to know, we already talked about kind of the urgency of this record. Was there anything else you wanted to try to do differently, maybe from previous works, all while still keeping the essence of Volbeat with this latest record?
Basically not to overthink anything, because the way that I also wrote the As in Hell album was also quite fast. The thing is, when you've done so many records like Volbeat, you start thinking about, okay, how should the next record sound like? And our great friend Rob Gasciano, who was in Volbeat before, he loved to be in the studio for forever. And where I'm a little bit the opposite, I like to shoot straight from the hip, so the spirit stays in the riff and in the performance. That's just two different ways of working. And power to him for wanting to work like that. So for me, it was like trying to jump on an old bike again, going into the studio where I could pretty much with the other guys do it like we did back in the days, because we always allowed Rob to use the time that he wanted to use. That has to be a certain compromise. Just as much as he want to be in the studio longer, and we didn't, just as much as we wanted to do it very fast, and he was not into the fast takes. There's a certain compromise in that. But he, very talented guy, and we love our brother Rob. And I'm just trying to explain the kind of mindset we went into with this record, and that was pretty much how we started recording some of the first albums. And there was something really refreshing about that.
Get back to the roots. Get back to the roots of the band. Yeah,
and sometimes you manage to find that youth, even though we're all in our 50s. And the most important thing is that you don't force it, because you will fail. It has to come naturally. But the thing is, that sound, that style is so much in our DNA. It was just kind of revisiting some of the things we did in the past, and then mix it up with stuff we like to do now. Because it's not like we want to be nostalgic or anything. We like to go out with a new album that sounds like a new album, but we also want it to be very recognizable for the listeners. And you know what? I think we could try to do something different, and it would still end up sounding 100%. Just as you think you've done something different, there'll be people saying, "Oh, that's typical Volbeat." Is it? But that's, that's a gift. I look at that as a gift because um, a lot of bands, performers are struggling to find their signature sound or just their style. So by time they release so many different albums, and you cannot really tell what band it is. So for us, we feel very blessed that from the very beginning, we had that sound, we had that style, and we can pretty much just add few ingredients for every time we make a new album. It's like when you buy a Motorhead album, you know what you're gonna get. If you buy Iron Maiden album, AC/DC album, those kind of bands, you know what you're gonna get. But they always manage to put something new on the top, so it sounds like a new album. And I think we managed to do that with the Volbeat records.
Well, again, everyone is raving about it. The latest one from you dropped June 6th, God of Angels Trust. And we're excited to have that Volbeat we know and love with that little added garnish on top, like you said. We're going to do rapid fire in 1 second, but I ask this to everybody. And it's kind of I've had to reword it. Do you have a favorite track or maybe a track that speaks to you more than maybe the others on this album?
It depends on the day.
On the day, yeah.
You have to understand that when we write a song, they all have to be important. Sometimes for different reasons. So on a whatever different day, a certain song can be the most important one. But I don't like to take any kind of attention away from all the other songs. Of course, there are lyrics that are more personally, like Lonely Fields. That's pretty much dedicated to my father. And then there are other songs that are just a little bit funny with a horror flick, like in The Barn of the Goat.
Right.
It's two very different songs, but having great fun doing in The Barn of the Goat and Lonely Fields is something where you kind of get a little bit more emotional. So I know it's a very boring answer when I said they all means a lot. For different reasons.
Right. No, I'll take it. I know it's kind of a hard one, but I think you explained it perfectly from an artist standpoint. Well, again, we're so excited to have it. The new album from Volbeat, go get it. God of Angels Trust. It is out now, and plenty more to come. And again, for anyone just joining us on this, Michael literally got off a sound check, so they are very busy out this getting ready to sport this record and have some fun with it. Well, now that we got the serious stuff out of the way, I want to do rapid fire real quick, and then I'll get out of your hair, let you rest up. We're going to do first just a quick Danish edition. And either or, I will do my best in the research that I did on your beautiful country that is Denmark. So let's start simple. Music, DAD or TV2? Or neither.
You're asking me if I should choose?
Yes, which one you would choose if you had to?
They both band got good songs, but stylistic, to what I've been doing, we're probably a little bit more close to DAD. And they're good guys, So I have and the TV2 guys are also good guys.
Good guys.
I'll have to go with DAD.
All right, I don't want to get you in trouble with your countrymen, so we'll just say both great guys, just DAD sonically wise. Frikadeller or fish cake?
Absolutely frikadeller. I don't.
Okay. I've never had either, but you're saying every time frikadeller.
Frikadeller is amazing.
All right. Well, I will put it on the short list of Danish foods I need to try. Football, or soccer as we call it here, or handball.
Football.
Last one, and I'm going to again do my best. Pingvinblading or Tom's Turtle?
Oh, you're talking about candy.
Candy, yeah.
I do eat more chocolate than I eat licorice, but I'll say that licorice is definitely more Danish than chocolate.
Okay.
So I'll have to go with licorice.
Licorice. Was I even close? Pingvinblading? Was that close?
That's actually really good.
All right, not bad.
Pingvinblanding.
All right, awesome. I love it. As long as I'm not offensive with it, I'm good. All right. Well, there you go. Danish Rapid Fire. Now I want to wrap up with my favorite one. And I ask everyone this, and I think you'll know because you do appreciate the American culture, some of the bigger things we have. So would you rather, and you've gotten into great shape over the years, so I think you'll appreciate this one. Would you rather take a Chuck Norris roundhouse kick at 100% power or a Mike Tyson punch at 50% power?
Definitely Mike Tyson. I'm such a big boxing nerd, and I've been following Tyson since the very beginning. I met Tyson, talked to Tyson.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he can beat me up. I would love that.
It'd be an honor. You may be in the hospital for a while, but it's worth it. All right, perfect. Well, thank you for humoring me. More importantly, Michael, thank you so much for talking new music. Volbeat.
You know
what?
He can definitely still in his 60s probably beat me with one hand. So.
When he was training for that Jake Paul fight, even though that was more of the guy's a beast. He's a bulldog. It was nuts.
No, but that's a reason why it's an exhibition.
Mm-hmm, right.
I was a 60-year-old man, and of course it was a fixed fight. It was very scripted. Right. If it was only a 1-round fight and both of them were allowed to do whatever they need to do, we know that the 60-year-old Tyson will probably take quickly care of the young man. But that's the reason why it went 12 or 10 rounds, and it was called exhibition.
Exactly.
Fight, and it is what it is.
No, my money's always on Iron Mike Tyson, for God's sakes. All right. Go get the new album, God of Angels Trust. Volbeat, it's out now again. Michael, it's such a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
I thank you.
Listen, rate, share, subscribe. Discover new music now at WJJO.com, in the JJO app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Brock has a new interview every Thursday evening between 6 and 7. 94.1 JJO.